Year was 1969, a long winter evening beginning to claim the vast, silent stretches of the Alaskan wilderness, embracing the landscape in a profound hush. A deep sense of quiet settled over a wide river valley, where the last traces of daylight, like embers softly fading in a dying hearth, clung tenaciously to the distant rugged horizon. The air, exquisitely crisp and intensely cold, held within its depths a breathtaking stillness, a complete absence of hurried movement, carrying only the most subtle and almost imperceptible whispers of distant, snow-laden winds as they drifted with a gentle rhythm across the expansive, snow-covered landscape. The overall atmosphere was one of deep, enveloping calm, promising a long, peaceful forest night ahead, a haven for the weary mind seeking rest. From the protective, shadowed embrace of an ancient pine forest, its towering forms draped heavily with accumulated snow that softened every sharp edge, a lone grizzly bear began to emerge. Its movement was not sudden or abrupt, but rather a deliberate, a slow and utterly unhurried unfolding of immense power and inherent grace into the open, stark landscape. The bear's thick fur, a magnificent tapestry of deep, earthy browns and subtle grays, its individual strands standing guard against the chill, barely rustled, its dense, insulated layers providing a natural, impenetrable armor against the biting cold, as the animal gently stepped onto the frozen riverbank. Underneath its formidable, wide paws, perfectly adapted to the varied terrain, the hardened snow and the glassy, slick surface of the river ice offered a resilient, almost polished pathway, reflecting the dim, fading evening light in a myriad of soft, muted gleams that danced and shifted across the crystalline terrain with every subtle change in the sky. The great river, now completely transformed into a sheet of solid, unyielding ice, stretched majestically across the valley floor, appearing as a smooth, almost metallic gray pathway that seemed to lead directly into the deepening twilight. Intricate networks of fine cracks, like delicate frozen veins, spiderwebbed across its expansive surface, meticulously etched by the relentless, pervasive embrace of the profound, unyielding cold that had settled deeply into the very core of the land. Faint, ethereal reflections of the deepening sky, a progression from pale lavender at the zenith to a profound slate blue near the horizon, shimmered with a quiet luminescence upon the ice, creating an almost magical, tranquil carpet beneath the vast, calm expanse of the twilight sky. The entire scene was bathed in a gentle night ambience, a hushed and comforting prelude to the long, silent hours of darkness that lay stretched out ahead, promising a profound sense of deep relaxation and release. The grizzly bear, an embodiment of both formidable strength and quiet patience, paused deliberately at the river's frozen edge, its massive head lifted slowly, a deep, instinctual action, the powerful, solid form settling into a posture of inherent comfort and watchful ease that remarkably belied the harsh, unforgiving nature of its winter environment. Its quiet ears twitched, a subtle, almost imperceptible movement, meticulously attuned to the pervasive silence, picking up no discernible sound but the very faintest distant whisper of the wind as it carried fine, icy snow across the immense, peaceful wilderness. The bear's slow breathing produced soft, ethereal plumes of warm mist that momentarily hung in the frigid air, illuminated briefly by the last lingering light before dissolving completely, vanishing without a trace into the vast, open expanse. With careful, exquisitely measured steps, each one placed with an intrinsic understanding of the treacherous, often slippery surface, the grizzly began padding slowly across the riverbanks, its sturdy paws finding a familiar, utterly predictable rhythm on the frozen ground. There was no hint of urgency in its majestic, unhurried movements, only a deep, ingrained understanding of the land, the rhythm of the season, and the subtle, unfolding narrative of its own enduring existence. The bear was not seeking immediate, critical warmth, for its dense fur provided ample insulation against the most extreme cold, but rather a deeper understanding of its immediate surroundings, a gentle reconnaissance in the fading light, a silent, methodical quest for sensory information about the world it inhabited. Its gaze, steady and profoundly observant, began sweeping slowly across the vast valleys that unfolded before it, an endless panorama of snow and ice, searching with a focused intensity that was entirely calm. Beneath the intricately cracked ice, the possibility of hidden life lingered, a soft mystery, the faint, almost imperceptible signs of salmon, perhaps dormant in the cold depths or momentarily trapped in shallow, iced-over pockets along the river's winding frozen course. This search was not a desperate hunt driven by immediate need, but a ritual, a silent, ancient dance with the winter landscape, guided by an instinctual, peaceful mind. Each gentle sniff of the cool breezes that brushed against its snout was an act of profound exploration, a subtle gathering of vital information from the frozen environment, meticulously mapping the world through its heightened sense of scent. The stillness of the forest that bordered the valley was absolute, a heavy, comforting blanket that wrapped intimately around the entire landscape, muting any distant sound. This quiet nature was not an empty void, but a space rich with latent energy, brimming with the promise of life enduring, even thriving beneath the frozen surface, a testament to resilience. The bear moved with a profound sense of stability, its very presence a silent reassurance of the unbroken cycle of seasons, of life finding its persistent, predictable way even through the deepest, most formidable cold. This created a powerful, unwavering feeling of safety and predictability, a steady heartbeat within the vast frozen world. As the last fragile sliver of natural light receded completely beyond the dark, formidable mountain peaks, surrendering to the encroaching night, the soft moonlight began to assert its gentle dominion, casting long, serene shadows. It painted the expansive snowfields in ethereal shades of shimmering silver and muted blue, transforming the familiar landscape into a dreamlike vision. The air grew even colder, descending into a deeper embrace of winter's profound chill, yet the silence deepened with it, becoming an almost tangible entity, a profound quiet that settled into every crevice and hollow of the land. The grizzly bear, now a majestic, shadowy presence against the softly glowing snow, continued its slow, methodical journey, a living picture of deep relaxation, its actions becoming an integral, harmonious part of a larger, calm, and predictable rhythm that permeated the entire winter night. There was no tension in this deliberate exploration, no hint of anxiety or alarm, only a continuous flowing forward motion, a steady, unhurried advance into the quiet unknown. The bear's experience was one of inherent safety, a familiar world, even in its profound winter transformation, where every movement was a known quantity. It was a peaceful mind navigating a peaceful forest night, a journey that invited rest purely through its unwavering, stable, and predictable pace. The deep comfort of its own immense strength and unwavering resilience was a constant, reassuring companion throughout its solitary wanderings. The intention behind its movements, as it slowly ambled along the river's edge, was not to find a quick, urgent meal born of desperation, but to simply observe, to remain profoundly attuned to the subtle, almost imperceptible shifts of its world, sensing the changing pressures and faint scents. This was a sustained process of living, of simply being, existing harmoniously and gently in the heart of a sleepy woodland, where all things, even the ancient trees and the slumbering earth, prepared for a deep sleep. The bear might eventually linger near wildflowers, long buried beneath thick layers of snow, their vibrant memory a part of the land's enduring presence, or simply find itself pausing beside waterfalls, now hushed and frozen in their cascading descent, solid sculptures of crystalline ice, their sounds muted to a profound stillness. The approaching night promised many, many hours of profound darkness, a vast, comforting blanket under which the entire wilderness would truly settle into its deepest, most restorative slumber. The bear's journey was a steady progression, an unhurried drift deeper into this calm, still, and expansive realm, each step a testament to the seamless flow of nature. It was not a race against time or the harsh elements, but a testament to quiet persistence, a gentle endurance that resonated deeply with the ancient, immutable rhythms of the earth. Soon the grizzly would consider settling beneath the boughs of nearby pines for a brief respite, its powerful body curling into warmth, finding solace in its own soft breath rising, ready for a moment of quiet rest after wandering through the deepening night. This peaceful transition from the fading light into the profound winter night established a gentle, quiet survival rhythm, a comforting story that would unfold one slow, deliberate moment at a time, guiding the listener further and further into deep sleep. The entire world was winding down, preparing for its own deep, restorative sleep, and the bear was moving with it, an inseparable part of its silent, grand design, an embodiment of the vast, silent nature, a constant presence in the tranquil vastness. Chapter 2. With gentle resolve, the grizzly bear now moved slowly away from the open riverbank, its thick fur rustling almost imperceptibly as it left the reflective ice behind. It began following woodland trails, indistinct paths softened by snow, guiding its massive form into the deepening embrace of a dense spruce forest boundary. Here, snow-laden branches, heavy with a fresh blanket of pristine white, hung low and close, forming a soft, natural tunnel overhead. This living canopy created a profound quiet, muffling all external sounds into a deep, pervasive stillness that settled over the sleepy woodland. Each stretching, sturdy paw, equipped with its powerful claws, compressed the fresh powder with a rhythmic, peaceful sound. This soft crunch against the earth was almost the only noise, underscoring the deep silence of the forest interior. The evening light, already muted by the fading day and the low winter sun, now faded even further. It shifted the environment into deeper, softer shadows of charcoal and indigo, painting the ancient trees in tranquil hues. The air, though cold, held a subtle warmth here, a welcome contrast to the exposed river's edge. This enclosed forest space offered a sense of comforting protection, a safe haven within the vast, peaceful wilderness. The bear navigated slowly and deliberately between the ancient, snow-dusted trees, its quiet senses acutely attuned to the subtle messages of the forest. It moved with a natural, unhurried pace, its head held low, sniffing cool breezes that carried the faint, earthy scent of frozen ground. It searched for any lingering traces of late-season berries, now shriveled and hidden beneath the snow, or the faint, almost forgotten trace of hidden carcass remains. These were gentle mysteries, patiently sought. As the bear continued its gentle journey deeper inland, the protective cover of the spruce trees grew denser. The snow on the branches formed intricate, layered textures, a delicate art sculpted by winter's silent hand. The calm air remained still, almost insulating, wrapping the forest in its comforting embrace. The predictable rhythm of the bear's movements, its steady steps and patient searching, contributed to a deep relaxation, a sense of quiet stability. This continuous, peaceful progression through the hushed environment ensured a peaceful mind. The bear was not in a hurry, merely moving through its world, taking its rest when needed, fully part of the silent nature. The soft breath rising from its nostrils dissolved into the tranquil air, a silent testament to its steady journey. Deeper and deeper into the quiet woods it slowly ventured, leaving the river's vastness for the forest's gentle enclosure, feeling the earth steady beneath each padding step. Chapter 3. With a slow, deliberate grace, the grizzly bear emerged from the dense protection of the spruce, its journey continuing into the deepening embrace of the long winter night. The keen senses, always attuned to the subtle shifts of the wilderness, detected a faint anomaly in the frigid air ahead. A shallow hollow, a natural ice cave, revealed itself beneath a sturdy rocky overhang, situated along a gently frozen slope. This quiet sanctuary offered a potential pause from the intensifying cold winds that had begun to whisper with a sharper edge across the open landscape. Moving with a gentle certainty, the bear approached the entrance, its broad form settling with a silent understanding. The space within promised a measure of comfort, a temporary haven from the pervasive chill. Slowly, it stepped over the low threshold, its heavy paws finding purchase on the cold, packed earth that formed the cavern's floor. Inside, a subtle, earthy warmth lingered, a faint echo of trapped heat from the earth itself. This small, unexpected gift created a pocket of relative stillness, a peaceful contrast to the biting cold that now sought to reclaim the outside world. Beyond the cave's opening, soft snowdrifts began to accumulate, piling gently against the rocky edges, further insulating the interior. These delicate white mounds grew in quiet layers, deepening the sense of enclosure and safety within the ice-bound hollow. The bear settled down, its powerful body easing onto the cool, firm ground. A profound sense of rest began to settle over its weary frame. The calm breathing of the grizzly deepened, a slow, steady rhythm that filled the small space with a quiet, reassuring presence. This moment offered a brief period of deep relaxation, a pause in the relentless progression of the night. The bear's quiet ears twitched almost imperceptibly, listening to the muffled symphony of the still forest beyond the cave. Distant cracking ice sounds, perhaps from the frozen river or a nearby lake, echoed softly. These ambient sounds, a natural part of the silent nature, added to the pervasive, peaceful mind of the bear without disturbing its newfound comfort. They were merely the whispers of the vast wilderness, reminders of the world outside, yet entirely separate from the tranquility within. As time drifted forward, the setting outside transitioned into deeper night tones. Shadows stretched and mingled, painting the landscape in endless shades of profound indigo and black. Yet, within the icebound shelter, an enduring sense of stability prevailed. The wind's vibrations, once sharp and piercing, were now reduced to a gentle, low hum against the stone and ice, a soft lullaby that spoke of protection and calm. The bear remained, its body curling into warmth, finding solace in this temporary haven. Each slow breath contributed to the serene atmosphere, a silent acknowledgement of the safety provided by the ancient stone and ice. The soft breath rising from the bear's nostrils disappeared into the still air, a visible sign of its deep repose. This restful interlude provided a moment for mind relaxation, a peaceful pause before the ongoing sleepy woodland journey, preparing the grizzly for the ever-unfolding night ahead. Chapter 4. Leaving the profound comfort of the icebound hollow, the grizzly bear stepped with careful, slowly unfurling intention onto the expansive surface of a vast frozen mirror lake. The air, previously muffled by the rocky overhang, now felt crisp and infinitely clear, carrying the pure, clean scent of the deepest winter night. Above, the sky had become a breathtaking, inky canvas, perfectly clear and endlessly deep, where countless stars emerged with a soft, crystalline brilliance. Each tiny light seemed to find its reflection on the glassy expanse of the lake, creating a shimmering twin universe stretching both above and below, an illusion of infinite, peaceful depth. The bear's movement was utterly deliberate, a gentle and measured procession across the hard, smooth ice. Each heavy, stretching, sturdy paw was placed with a meticulous attention, testing the surface, distributing its immense weight with an innate wisdom. There was no haste, only a steady, unhurried rhythm that echoed the very pulse of the still forest surrounding this open, luminous space. The vastness of the lake, stretching far into the distance, was a landscape of unbroken stillness, only occasionally punctuated by the faintest whispers of wind that brushed lightly across the frozen surface. Beneath the intricate network of ice, the bear sensed faint, almost quiet vibrations, a subtle hint of life that slumbered in the cold, dark depths. It was not a sound that broke the profound silent nature of the night, but rather a deep resonance, a soft mystery of existence held captive beneath the solid surface. This awareness, calm and instinctual, added another layer to the serene journey, connecting the bear to the hidden pulse of the frozen world. The presence of such deep, quiet life beneath the impenetrable ice offered a soothing thought, a constant, stable anchor in the immense cold. As the bear continued its gentle journey, the night deepened further, and the panorama of stars intensified, casting a cold, luminous glow across the tranquil landscape. The light was not warm, but it was profoundly illuminating, painting the snow-covered shores in shades of soft blue and silver, making every distant ridge and every delicate frost-covered branch visible in exquisite detail. This calm night sky offered a visual feast of deep relaxation, the kind that comes from truly vast, undisturbed spaces. The sheer scale of the starlit expanse invited the mind to settle, to find a deep and abiding comfort in the unchanging celestial dance. The vast, open space of the frozen lake brought with it a particular kind of stillness, an unbroken sense of peaceful mind under the clear, sparkling dome of the heavens. The air, crisp and soft, carried no harsh sounds, only the occasional, nearly imperceptible sigh of the distant wilderness. Every breath the bear took created a small, soft plume of mist, quickly dissipating into the crystalline atmosphere, a fleeting visible sign of life in the encompassing quiet. The journey was a predictable progression, a steady, rhythmic ambling towards the faint suggestion of higher ground in the distance. The methodical placement of pause, the focused gaze that occasionally drifted to the distant shores or upwards to the starlit sky, all contributed to a pervasive sense of safety and stability. The bear was simply moving through its world, a continuous thread of life in the fabric of the winter wilderness. There was a quiet strength in its deliberate pace, a reassurance in its unwavering progress. This sustained rhythm, the constant gentle forward motion, was like a calm breathing exercise made manifest, a profound physical form of stress relief against the stark backdrop of the Alaskan night. The grizzly bear was not merely surviving, it was inhabiting this frozen world with an enduring grace. The expanse of the frozen mirror lake felt ancient, a vast, polished surface that had witnessed countless such nights, reflecting the same constellations for untold ages. This sense of timelessness added to the feeling of deep relaxation, allowing worries to melt away into the immense, quiet backdrop. The bear's shadow, long and indistinct, stretched across the ice, a fleeting companion in the boundless moonlight, then shortened and shifted with each careful step. It was a singular figure in a grand, peaceful wilderness, moving with quiet purpose towards an unseen destination. There was a subtle interaction with the environment as the bear moved. The very surface of the ice offered a unique texture, a subtle slipperiness that demanded constant, gentle awareness. It was a different sensation from the muffled snow of the spruce forest or the hard rock of the ice cave, a new experience for its thick fur rustling form. The chill that rose from the lake surface was profound, yet the bear's fur provided a deep, insulating comfort, a protective layer against the cold. The distant shapes of the mountains began to emerge more clearly as the light from the stars seemed to intensify, allowing the bear to feel itself truly gazing across valleys and peaks from its position on the flat, frozen expanse. This continuous, slowly unfolding journey across the reflective ice under the watchful, calm night sky was a testament to the bear's resilience and its steady connection to its environment. The quiet passage of time was marked only by the shifting star patterns and the bear's steady advance. Each step brought it closer to its goal, a gradual, peaceful progression that never rushed, never wavered. The world felt contained within this moment, a tableau of unwavering nature and a singular, determined animal. The sleepy woodland that lined the distant shores of the lake seemed to whisper an invitation, a promise of shelter and hidden paths beyond this open expanse. But for now, the bear remained on the ice, bathed in the cold, silver light, experiencing the profound stillness that only such a vast, frozen landscape could offer. The journey toward higher ground was a predictable path, a logical next step in its nightly wanderings, and it moved towards that unseen ascent with a quiet resolve. The act of movement itself was a form of rest, a natural rhythm that eased the body and mind into a state of deep, unhurried, deep sleep. The vast, open space of the frozen mirror lake provided a moment of immense, tranquil beauty, a soft ending to this chapter as the bear continued its unhurried passage, the stars reflecting endlessly in its wake. Leaving the profound comfort of the icebound hollow, the grizzly bear stepped with careful, slowly unfurling intention onto the expansive surface of a vast, frozen mirror lake. The air, previously muffled by the rocky overhang, now felt crisp and infinitely clear, carrying the pure, clean scent of the deepest winter night. Above, the sky had become a breathtaking, inky canvas, perfectly clear and endlessly deep, where countless stars emerged with a soft, crystalline brilliance. Each tiny light seemed to find its reflection on the glassy expanse of the lake, creating a shimmering, twin universe stretching both above and below, an illusion of infinite peaceful depth. The bear's movement was utterly deliberate, a gentle and measured procession across the hard, smooth ice. Each heavy, stretching, sturdy paw was placed with a meticulous attention, testing the surface, distributing its immense weight with an innate wisdom. There was no haste, only a steady, unhurried rhythm that echoed the very pulse of the still forest surrounding this open, luminous space. The vastness of the lake, stretching far into the distance, was a landscape of unbroken stillness, only occasionally punctuated by the faintest whispers of wind that brushed lightly across the frozen surface. Beneath the intricate network of ice, the bear sensed faint, almost quiet vibrations, a subtle hint of life that slumbered in the cold, dark depths. It was not a sound that broke the profound, silent nature of the night, but rather a deep resonance, a soft mystery of existence held captive beneath the solid surface. This awareness, calm and instinctual, added another layer to the serene journey, connecting the bear to the hidden pulse of the frozen world. The presence of such deep, quiet life beneath the impenetrable ice offered a soothing thought, a constant, stable anchor in the immense cold. As the bear continued its gentle journey, the night deepened further, and the panorama of stars intensified, casting a cold, luminous glow across the tranquil landscape. The light was not warm, but it was profoundly illuminating, painting the snow-covered shores in shades of soft blue and silver, making every distant ridge and every delicate frost-covered branch visible in exquisite detail. This calm night sky offered a visual feast of deep relaxation, the kind that comes from truly vast, undisturbed spaces. The sheer scale of the starlit expanse invited the mind to settle, to find a deep and abiding comfort in the unchanging celestial dance. The vast, open space of the frozen lake brought with it a particular kind of stillness, an unbroken sense of peaceful mind under the clear, sparkling dome of the heavens. The air, crisp and soft, carried no harsh sounds, only the occasional, nearly imperceptible sigh of the distant wilderness. Every breath the bear took created a small, soft plume of mist, quickly dissipating into the crystalline atmosphere, a fleeting visible sign of life in the encompassing quiet. The journey was a predictable progression, a steady rhythmic ambling towards the faint suggestion of higher ground in the distance. The methodical placement of paws, the focused gaze that occasionally drifted to the distant shores or upwards to the starlit sky, all contributed to a pervasive sense of safety and stability. The bear was simply moving through its world, a continuous thread of life in the fabric of the winter wilderness. There was a quiet strength in its deliberate pace, a reassurance in its unwavering progress. This sustained rhythm, the constant gentle forward motion, was like a calm breathing exercise made manifest, a profound, physical form of stress relief against the stark backdrop of the Alaskan night. The grizzly bear was not merely surviving, it was inhabiting this frozen world with an enduring grace. The expanse of the frozen mirror lake felt ancient, a vast, polished surface that had witnessed countless such nights, reflecting the same constellations for untold ages. This sense of timelessness added to the feeling of deep relaxation, allowing worries to melt away into the immense, quiet backdrop. The bear's shadow, long and indistinct, stretched across the ice, a fleeting companion in the boundless moonlight, then shortened and shifted with each careful step. It was a singular figure in a grand, peaceful wilderness, moving with quiet purpose towards an unseen destination. There was a subtle interaction with the environment as the bear moved. The very surface of the ice offered a unique texture, a subtle slipperiness that demanded constant, gentle awareness. It was a different sensation from the muffled snow of the spruce forest or the hard rock of the ice cave, a new experience for its thick fur rustling form. The chill that rose from the lake surface was profound, yet the bear's fur provided a deep, insulating comfort, a protective layer against the cold. The distant shapes of the mountains began to emerge more clearly as the light from the stars seemed to intensify, allowing the bear to feel itself truly gazing across valleys and peaks from its position on the flat, frozen expanse. This continuous, slowly unfolding journey across the reflective ice, under the watchful, calm night sky, was a testament to the bear's resilience and its steady connection to its environment. The quiet passage of time was marked only by the shifting star patterns and the bear's steady advance. Each step brought it closer to its goal, a gradual, peaceful progression that never rushed, never wavered. The world felt contained within this moment, a tableau of unwavering nature and a singular, determined animal. The sleepy woodland that lined the distant shores of the lake seemed to whisper an invitation, a promise of shelter and hidden paths beyond this open expanse. But for now, the bear remained on the ice, bathed in the cold, silver light, experiencing the profound stillness that only such a vast, frozen landscape could offer. The journey toward higher ground was a predictable path, a logical next step in its nightly wanderings, and it moved towards that unseen ascent with a quiet resolve. The act of movement itself was a form of rest, a natural rhythm that eased the body and mind into a state of deep, unhurried, deep sleep. The vast open space of the frozen mirror lake provided a moment of immense tranquil beauty, a soft ending to this chapter as the bear continued its unhurried passage, the stars reflecting endlessly in its wake. Chapter 5. The grizzly bear now began a slowly unfolding ascent, its powerful form rising with a gentle determination up the face of a steep snow-covered ridge. The incline deepened steadily with each measured step, leading away from the familiar stillness of the valley floor below. Here, on this exposed expanse, the wind gathered its forces, not in a sudden gust, but as a constant, softly insistent presence, shaping the deep powder into intricate, shifting patterns along the ridgeline. It hummed a quiet, almost imperceptible tune that became part of the peaceful wilderness symphony. Each stretching, sturdy paw sank deeply into the accumulated snow, a whisper of compression accompanying its descent, requiring an ancient, instinctual strength and an enduring patience. Yet, the bear maintained its calm, unwavering rhythm, a steady pulse against the vastness of the winter landscape. The thick fur, already a deep insulating layer, offered quiet protection against the chill, allowing the bear to move with an unhurried grace that defied the challenging terrain. The air grew crisper with elevation, carrying faint, elusive scents from the distant forest, a soft reminder of the journey's origin. From this gradually increasing elevation, the bear paused, its gaze gazing across valleys, surveying vast Alaskan wilderness. The world spread out beneath it, a breathtaking panoramic expanse under a darkening sky, hinting at the immeasurable distances beyond. The shadowed troughs of the valleys seemed to deepen, while the furthest peaks held on to the last vestiges of pale light. A profound sense of stillness settled over the immense landscape, an unbroken silence that resonated with the very core of the wilderness. This growing height brought a sense of quiet grandeur, a predictable shift in perspective. The environment around the bear grew subtly harsher, defined by the wind's persistent song and the endless sweep of snow, yet it also became more expansive, more open, marking a soft transition from the enclosed, protective forest spaces of before to this exposed, high terrain. The air, thin and pure, was filled only with wind-driven silent nature, a vast and soothing sound that cradled the immense quiet. There was a palpable feeling of safety in the bear's practiced movements, its resilience a source of deep comfort against the elements. Its slow breathing created small, misty plumes that dissolved quickly into the cold, clear air. The deliberate journey upwards was a steady, reassuring climb, an ancient act of nature that offered a pathway for deep relaxation. Each step, though requiring effort, was part of a familiar pattern, a natural flow that gently encouraged a peaceful mind. The bear did not hurry, but moved with the profound certainty of its purpose, an embodiment of the winter's quiet perseverance. As it reached a new, slightly higher plateau on the ridge, a subtle shift occurred in the wind's song, becoming a mere whisper against the distant crags. The bear settled its weight, taking a moment of quiet rest, its large form blending seamlessly with the snowy contours of the land, perfectly content in the expansive, peaceful solitude of the high country. Chapter 6. The grizzly bear, having steadily descended from the exposed snow ridge, moved with a gentle and deliberate gait into a clearing nestled within the thick winter forest. The cold air, once sharp with the bite of elevation, softened slightly here, becoming a calm breath against its thick fur rustling. Before it, an unexpected sight emerged from the deep shadows of the peaceful wilderness. An abandoned wooden cabin, its structure half collapsed under the immense weight of the soft snow that had drifted and settled over countless winters. It was a silent testament to a forgotten time, a relic now slowly consumed by the pervasive embrace of the silent nature. The bear approached slowly, its stretching sturdy paws sinking into the pristine powder with each step, creating a hushed, rhythmic sound that was quickly absorbed by the stillness of the clearing. Faint scents lingered in the quiet air around the decaying timbers. The dry, aged aroma of old wood, the subtle metallic tang of rusted fastenings, and a whisper of a long-departed human presence woven into the fresh scent of pine and snow. These faded traces spoke not of danger, but of a passage of time, a gentle night ambience settling over the remnants of human endeavor. Its quiet ears twitching almost imperceptibly, the bear investigated the ruins with a measured, unhurried curiosity. It padded slowly around the perimeter, its powerful head low, sniffing cool breezes that circulated around the broken walls and roof. One side of the cabin had entirely given way, creating a gentle slope of snow-covered logs and planks, where the forest floor had begun its slow reclamation. Snowdrifts piled high against the remaining standing walls, insulating them and sculpting soft, rounded forms that blended seamlessly with the surrounding landscape. Inside what remained of the structure, the bear peered through a gaping doorway where the skeletal frame of old windows once stood. The interior was a cavern of snow and shadows, cold and empty, offering no sign of sustenance. There was no stored food, no lingering warmth from a long-extinguished fire, only the husks of shelter, slowly decaying and surrendering to the elements. The discovery brought no disappointment, only a quiet understanding. The wilderness had absorbed this outpost back into its vast embrace, a peaceful cycle of return. Night deepened further, enveloping the scene in an even profounder shadow. The few stars that pierced the calm night sky cast a subtle ethereal light upon the snow-covered clearing, creating a sense of stillness that seemed to absorb all other sounds. The decaying outpost stood as a quiet monument to human history fading into wilderness dominance, a peaceful testament to time's patient passage. The bear's fleeting presence here was merely another thread in the vast tapestry of the sleepy woodland, a fleeting pause in its gentle journey. Having found no reason to linger, the grizzly turned away from the abandoned structure. Its movements remained calm and steady, following woodland trails that led away from the cabin and deeper into the peaceful forest night. The brief interlude among the ruins had been a moment of comfort in its own way, a reminder of the consistent, unchanging patterns of the wild. The bear continued padding across riverbanks of snow, moving without disturbance, leaving the quiet cabin ruins to their solitary rest under the deepening night. This peaceful shift contributed to a pervasive, silent nature, underscoring the enduring stability of the natural world, a soothing continuity for a peaceful mind and an invitation for deep relaxation. The bear's slow progress across the winter landscape continued, its presence a quiet assurance within the vast and tranquil expanse, leading it gently onward, further into the embrace of the tranquil night. Chapter 7. Under a bright, soft winter moon, the grizzly bear descended slowly from the higher, more rugged elevations, easing into the expansive quiet of a broad, open valley. The transition felt natural, a flowing movement from one stage of the long night to the next. The deep snow, which had been crisp and wind-sculpted on the ridge, here softened into a vast, luminous blanket across the valley floor. It glowed with a pale blue luminescence, absorbing the gentle light from above and reflecting it back, creating an almost ethereal world for the bear to traverse. The terrain was noticeably smoother here, a gentle incline that slowly flattened, allowing for a steadier, more predictable pace. Each of the bear's sturdy paws, accustomed to the demanding climb of the previous ridge, now moved with a rhythmic grace across the vast, unbroken surface. The act of walking became a calm meditation, a sequence of deliberate steps that carried the immense form forward without haste. This steady cadence was a reassuring sound in the profound stillness of the night, a soft compression of snow beneath its weight, barely disturbing the quiet air. The grizzly bear paused for a moment, a magnificent figure of profound stillness amidst the peaceful wilderness. Its thick fur, dusted lightly with fine snow, caught the moon's glow, outlining its contours against the vast, pale landscape. The bear lifted its head, turning slowly to observe the distant ridgelines that framed the valley. Their profiles were sharp, dark silhouettes etched against the calm night sky, a stark contrast to the soft glow of the snow closer to the ground. These mountain horizons, once a goal to surmount, now stood as silent, ancient guardians on the periphery of its journey. Its quiet ears twitched almost imperceptibly, attuned to the subtle symphony of the winter night. The bear listened to the intricate patterns of the wind as it drifted through the vast, open space of the valley. It was not the biting, insistent force of the higher passes, but rather a soft, almost musical whisper that carried across the snow, a breath of air that merely stirred the lightest surface crystals. This gentle night ambience enveloped the bear, a constant yet unobtrusive presence in the silent nature. The soft breath rising from its nostrils formed fleeting plumes that dissolved quickly into the cold, clean air, a testament to its calm breathing. The night felt more open and tranquil here, a noticeable shift from the more rugged survival demands of the higher elevations in the enclosed spaces of the forest. This was a calmer navigation through a vast, moonlit space, a journey that unfolded with a serene, unhurried ease. The sheer scale of the valley, under the luminous embrace of the moon, conveyed a sense of limitless peace. There was no urgency, only the steady progression of an animal in harmony with its world, following an ancient, internal rhythm. This moment of rest and keen observation offered a deep sense of comfort. The bear was not merely passing through, it was a part of this unfolding landscape, completely integrated into its vastness. The quiet assurance of its presence emphasized the safety and stability of its ongoing sleepy woodland journey, even in the heart of winter. The broad expanse of the valley, under the watchful eye of the moon, held no threats, only an enduring peace. The grizzly bear lowered its head, then continued its gentle movement across the valley floor. Its steady pace carried it forward, a slow, predictable rhythm that underscored the profound serenity of the scene. Each step was deliberate, unhurried, leaving imprints in the glowing snow that would soon be softly smoothed by the drifting air, becoming one with the seamless landscape once more. The bear was resting after wandering, finding moments of deep relaxation within its continuous journey. The air remained crisp and pure, carrying no strong scents, only the clean, cool essence of snow and distant pine. The gentle whisper of the wind was a constant companion, never intrusive, always soft. The bear ambled through the meadows of the valley, a vast, white expanse that stretched endlessly under the silent stars. Its passage was a seamless part of this peaceful wilderness, a living thread woven into the fabric of the night. The expansive scene invited a profound, deep relaxation, allowing any mind to wander through the silent nature under the luminous embrace of the moon. The continuous, predictable flow of the bear's journey through this tranquil valley brought a sense of profound well-being, a peaceful mind settling into the quiet stability of the moment. The distant ridgelines, the glowing snow, the soft wind, all contributed to a pervasive calm, a comforting stillness that promised gentle continuation. The bear, moving with its gentle purpose, was a beacon of this peace, its journey an unhurried drift towards the next phase of the unending winter night. Chapter 8. The grizzly bear continued its patient traverse from the broad moonlit valley, its sturdy paws finding a familiar rhythm against the softly glowing snow. With each deliberate step, the vastness of the open space began to yield to the gentle outlines of an enclosing tree line, suggesting a shift in the landscape. A subtle change in the quality of the light, beyond the moon's steady luminescence, began to tint the very air, an almost imperceptible shimmer that seemed to emanate from the depths of the calm night sky. The bear's slow breathing created mist that vanished quickly into the crisp, quiet atmosphere. As the bear padded slowly through a final screen of tall, quiet pines, it emerged into an open forest clearing. Above, the calm night sky had transformed. Great ribbons of soft green and delicate violet light began to ripple, unfurling themselves across the vast, dark canvas of the heavens. This was the aurora borealis, a celestial dance, a spectacle of profound stillness and ethereal movement. The snow below caught these shifting colors, transforming the ground into an almost dreamlike, peaceful tableau, reflecting the vibrant hues and shimmering patches that seemed to breathe with the light. The bear paused, its powerful form settling into a silhouette of quiet observation, its thick fur rustling only faintly as it stood, a figure of profound stillness within the unfolding wonder. Alert, yet completely calm, it sensed no threats in this wondrous display, only the pure, unadulterated presence of the peaceful wilderness. The gentle dance of light across the sky created a soothing visual, an awe-inspiring yet entirely quiet spectacle that filled the expanse above. The air felt crisp and pure, carrying the clean scent of snow and ancient pine, contributing to a sense of deep relaxation and a peaceful mind. The green waves of light flowed and receded like a vast, silent ocean overhead, sometimes intensifying to a brilliant emerald, then fading to a whisper of pale jade. The violet hues swirled within, adding depth and a touch of soft mystery to the celestial ballet. Each shift in color was gentle, each movement fluid, never jarring but always flowing, a continuous, predictable rhythm of light across the polar night. The bear's quiet ears twitching almost imperceptibly, as if listening to the silent nature of the light itself, to the deep hum of the cosmos. For a long while, the grizzly bear remained in this open clearing, resting its robust frame, a silent witness to the cosmic show. Its slow breathing was a steady, rhythmic counterpoint to the cosmic display, a grounding presence amidst the ethereal light. The ground, now illuminated by the soft glow, felt secure and grounded beneath its sturdy paws, reinforcing a deep sense of safety and comfort. The cold of the night seemed less sharp, softened by the ambient glow and the absolute tranquility of the moment. This tranquil experience reinforced the safety and comfort found in the depths of the night, a perfect invitation for deep sleep. The clearing itself, usually a space of dark shadows under the moon, now pulsed with a borrowed vitality, each snowdrift and pine needle outlined in soft, shifting light. The bear gazed across valleys of light, watching the hues expand and contract, a vast, calm curtain unfolding across the northern sky. It felt the deep stillness of the sleepy woodland around it, a silent sentinel to the grand natural phenomenon above. There was a sense of timelessness in this pause, a connection to the ancient rhythms of the earth and sky, far removed from any daily need or urgency. The light would sometimes intensify, a vibrant curtain drawing itself across the heavens, then slowly diffuse, becoming a translucent veil. The bear's eyes, reflecting the shifting greens and purples, held a deep, unperturbed calm. This prolonged observation allowed for a profound sense of deep relaxation, as the external world, transformed by beauty, mirrored the quiet inner state of the magnificent creature. It was a moment of perfect harmony, a natural pause in its gentle journey through the vast Alaskan winter. The air, crisp and cold, provided a constant, soft breath against its fur, a reminder of the serene environment that enveloped it. The gentle display continued, an unending flow of soft color across the celestial dome. The grizzly bear remained, a figure of enduring stillness and comfort, deep in the heart of the peaceful wilderness, under the mesmerizing, quiet spectacle of the aurora. Time itself seemed to slow, allowing for profound, deep relaxation as the night, still deep, carried the promise of more tranquil wanderings. The journey would continue, guided by instinct, through the silent nature, leaving this moment of cosmic wonder gently behind, its memory a comforting presence as the stars slowly regained their full, steady glow above. Chapter 9. The last vestiges of the aurora's soft and shifting glow began to recede into the vast, calm night sky, leaving the forest clearing in a deeper, more profound stillness. The grizzly bear, which had paused in quiet observation of the ethereal dance, now resumed its gentle journey through the peaceful wilderness. Its sturdy frame moved with an unhurried grace, slowly exiting the open space and once more becoming enveloped by the muted shadows of the ancient trees. The air retained a crisp purity, carrying no urgency, only the silent promise of the continuing winter night. The bear's destination was not a conscious thought, but an ancient internal compass, guiding it towards the next phase of its predictable nocturnal wanderings. Soon, a new sound began to emerge from the pervasive silent nature of the deep forest. It was a subtle, persistent murmur, a low, flowing whisper that grew incrementally clearer with each deliberate step the bear took. This was the sound of moving water, a presence rarely encountered in its unfrozen state during the heart of winter. The bear followed this auditory thread, its quiet ears twitching slightly, adjusting to the shift in ambiance from the absolute silence of the snow-laden woods to the gentle, rhythmic hum of a flowing current. The path before it narrowed, winding through a corridor where ancient pines gave way to more open, rocky banks. The river itself lay before the bear, not entirely surrendered to winter's icy grasp, but locked in a complex embrace. A narrow corridor of dark, moving water snaked its way between vast, crystalline sheets of ice that clung steadfastly to the banks. These ice formations were fractured and cracked, revealing a deeper, almost inky current flowing patiently beneath. The surface was a mosaic of intricate patterns, some cracks resembling delicate spiderwebs, others stark, bold lines stretching across the frozen expanse. The soft moonlight, though now fainter, still managed to catch on the polished surfaces, creating fleeting, shimmering reflections that danced with the water's subtle movements below. The air here carried a new scent, distinct from the dry cold of the forest. It was the earthy, mineral tang of wet stone and the clean, invigorating aroma of moving water, a gentle night ambience that spoke of hidden life. The sounds were a tapestry of contrasts, the pervasive, quiet rush of the water beneath the ice, a constant companion, occasionally punctuated by the soft creak and groan of the ice sheets, shifting imperceptibly against each other. It was a peaceful symphony of winter's embrace and water's ceaseless flow, a lullaby for the sleepy woodland that bordered this unique passage. The grizzly bear began to navigate this intricate landscape with its customary calm deliberation. Its stretching, sturdy paws extended forward, testing each patch of snow and ice before settling its weight. The edges of the river corridor were treacherous, slippery in places where a thin sheen of water had seeped over the ice, or where melting snow had turned to slick slush. Yet, the bear moved with an innate sense of balance, each large paw finding purchase on the uneven terrain. It was padding across riverbanks, its movements slow and precise, a testament to its deep connection with the silent nature around it. Its head was low, its keen senses now focused on the water. The dark currents held the promise of sustenance, perhaps fish trapped in shallower channels or slow-moving eddies, caught between the encroaching ice. The bear's eyes scanned the narrow strips of open water, its gaze unwavering, searching for any ripple, any subtle movement that might betray the presence of a meal. This search was not driven by urgency or desperation, but by a steady, predictable instinct, a quiet fulfillment of its natural rhythm. It was a patient, methodical exploration, part of the relaxing sleep story of its life. The bear paused by a section where the ice had fractured more extensively, revealing a wider stretch of dark water. Here the murmuring of the current was louder, a deeper, more resonant sound. A faint mist, almost invisible in the dim light, rose from the water's surface, a gentle exhalation of the river into the colder air. The bear leaned closer, its large nose sniffing cool breezes that carried the wet scent of the riverbed. It observed the water's flow, watching for any telltale shimmer of silver beneath the dark surface. There was a sense of stillness in its posture, a profound patience that spoke volumes of its resilience in the peaceful wilderness. No fish appeared in this particular channel, Yet there was no disappointment, only a continued, gentle focus. The bear simply resumed its slowly unfolding path along the river's edge, continuing its unwavering exploration. The movement was a seamless continuation, a demonstration of an inner stability that defined its existence. The comfort of its own sturdy body, the rhythmic patting of its paws, and the constant, calm presence of the flowing river all contributed to a pervasive sense of safety in this deep winter night. The river corridor curved softly ahead, revealing new patterns of ice and new glimpses of moving water. Some sections were entirely encased in a thick, translucent layer, through which the deeper currents could only be inferred, like veins beneath the skin of the earth. Other parts offered broader stretches of open water, where the current swirled and eddied with a gentle vitality. The bear navigated these subtle changes with quiet expertise, its movements a continuous flowing dance with the environment. It seemed to embody the peaceful mind of the wild, unburdened by haste or apprehension. As the bear progressed, the night deepened even further, approaching its most profound phase. The stars above, though veiled by the lingering haze of the distant aurora, still pierced through the darkness with a calm brilliance. The air grew colder, sharpening the edges of the ice, and making the sounds of the flowing water even more distinct against the background of the still forest. Yet, within this increasing cold, there was a profound sense of deep relaxation, a natural rhythm that encompassed the bear and its surroundings. Its heavy coat, thick with winter fur, offered ample protection, a constant source of comfort against the chill. The bear continued to follow the river, its winding path a natural guide through the vast landscape. The quiet murmur of the water became a soothing companion, a constant low-pitched song in the silent night. Every so often the bear would pause, lifting its head slightly to sniff cool breezes that carried whispers of the upstream journey, or to listen to the intricate soundscape of the partially frozen river. These moments of rest were brief, almost imperceptible, integrated into the continuous flow of its movement. The ice formations became more elaborate, sculptural in their design. Some were like miniature frozen waterfalls where water had once cascaded and then solidified in mid-motion. Others formed smooth, undulating sheets, their surfaces reflecting the faint starlight with a subtle dark sheen. The bear, in its slowly unfolding passage, occasionally encountered fallen branches or clusters of frozen reeds, which it investigated with gentle curiosity, turning them over with a paw before moving on. There was always a lingering hope of finding a small morsel, a forgotten berry, or the scent of something hidden beneath the ice. Even without finding immediate food, the act of searching, the focused engagement with its environment, was a form of contentment. It was a predictable routine, a fundamental part of its winter life that brought a feeling of profound safety and purpose. The rhythmic flow of the river, the steady presence of the ice, and the unwavering progress of the bear combined to create a sense of stability that permeated the entire scene. The peaceful wilderness was not a place of struggle, but a harmonious balance of elements, each playing its role in the grand, calm tapestry of existence. The bear's journey along the river corridor felt endless, a continuous thread through the deepest part of the night. Each footfall was soft, a muffled sound on the snowy bank, or a careful scrape on the ice. The air remained still, save for the whisper of the water and the occasional, almost inaudible sigh of the wind far above the river valley. This pervasive stillness was a balm, a quiet invitation to deep sleep for any creature fortunate enough to witness this gentle night ambience. The bear was simply moving, living its life in the heart of this tranquil expanse. It reached a wider section where the river fanned out, creating more extensive ice sheets and a broader channel of open water. Here the current seemed to slow its pace, forming quiet pools where the dark water moved with an almost imperceptible glide. The bear spent more time here, its head lowered, its powerful body almost perfectly still. It peered into the depths, its instinct guiding its gaze, its patience an endless well. The quiet vigilance was part of its nature, a calm and ingrained aspect of its existence in this sleepy woodland. The faint glint of silver caught its eye, a subtle shimmer deep beneath the partially frozen surface. It was a small, unfortunate fish, momentarily caught in the slow current. The bear moved with a quiet swiftness, its paw reaching into the frigid water. The cold was biting, but its thick fur and dense fat layers provided insulation. With a gentle scoop, the fish was retrieved, a small yet significant offering from the river. It was consumed quickly, a brief moment of active engagement before the bear returned to its methodical pace. This small success, a quiet reward for its patience, reinforced the sense of comfort and well-being. Satisfied for now, the bear continued its journey, turning its focus back to the path ahead. The river corridor began to narrow once more, and the open patches of water became less frequent, giving way to more solid sheets of ice. The sounds of the flowing current became fainter again, a distant murmur now, slowly fading back into the dominant silence of the surrounding snow-laden landscape. The trees on the banks grew denser, their branches once more beginning to form a protective canopy, hinting at a new kind of shelter. The night, though still deep, held a new kind of tranquility, a sense of completion for this riverine passage. The bear had navigated the ice, listened to the currents, and found its small moment of sustenance. Its peaceful mind remained settled, its movements predictable and steady, guiding it onward. The gentle journey continued, leaving the cracked ice river run behind, heading towards the promise of the thicker, more sheltering woods beyond. A quiet forest beckoning with its own unique form of rest and stillness. The pervasive, silent nature of winter would soon envelop it again, promising further deep relaxation and a continuous, relaxing sleep story. The bear moved away from the last vestiges of the open water, its heavy form dissolving into the deep shadows cast by the taller evergreens that lined the river's departure. The subtle warmth that had momentarily been stirred by the discovery of the fish began to recede, replaced by the persistent, dry cold of the still forest. Yet within the bear, there remained a fundamental warmth, a core of enduring resilience. Its soft breath rising in misty plumes, it continued its slowly unfolding path, leaving behind the dynamic contrast of ice and water for the enclosed quietude of the dense thicket that lay ahead. The sound of the river, now a faint echo in its wake, gradually merged back into the vast, encompassing, peaceful forest night, guiding the bear towards new forms of shelter and renewed comfort. Chapter 10. The grizzly bear moved with a calm and deliberate pace, leaving the intricate patterns of the cracked river ice behind. Its large, sturdy paws, accustomed to the varied textures of the Alaskan wilderness, now sought new ground, carrying it away from the murmuring currents that flowed beneath the frozen surface. The ambient air, while still crisp with winter's breath, held a subtle promise of change as the bear turned from the open river corridor. Ahead, a dense cedar grove stood, a profound shift in the silent landscape. The trees grew close, their ancient, gnarled branches reaching out to interlock, forming a formidable barrier against the prevailing winds. This was a place where the pervasive cold seemed to momentarily recede, offering a different kind of quiet. The bear stepped slowly into this natural sanctuary, its powerful form parting the low-hanging boughs with a gentle sway. Immediately, a profound stillness settled upon the air, a remarkable absence of the persistent wind that had sculpted snowdrifts and carried whispers across the open terrain. Within the tightly packed cedar thicket, the air itself felt insulated, creating a quiet pocket of calm. This unique atmosphere wrapped around the bear, offering a temporary subtle comfort that softened the harsh edges of the deep winter night. The thick, flat needles of the cedars were laden with heavy snow, creating intricate, layered textures that caught the faint, diffused light. Each branch, a testament to enduring strength, held its burden with quiet dignity, forming a protective canopy overhead. The grizzly continued its slow exploration, its focus unwavering, moving deeper into the fragrant heart of the grove. The scent of cedar, earthy and resinous, mingled with the clean aroma of fresh snow, creating a rich tapestry of natural perfumes in the still air. Its movements were measured, a rhythmic padding of paws on the snow-cushioned ground. The heavy shadows cast by the dense evergreens deepened the sense of enclosure, yet this embrace was not confining. Instead, It felt deeply secure, a haven from the vastness outside. The bear's quiet ears twitched ever so slightly, attuned to the magnified silence within the thicket. No distant crack of ice, no rustle of wind through bare branches, only the soft sound of its own breathing, a steady, predictable rhythm. It searched slowly for any traces of sustenance beneath the frozen brush, its keen sense of smell sifting through layers of snow and decaying leaves. Perhaps a buried root, a stray berry overlooked by smaller creatures, or the faint scent of something edible tucked away from the deepest frosts. The search was methodical, devoid of urgency, a quiet dance of instinct and patience. Snow accumulated thickly on the cedar needles, draping them in glistening white mantles. These layers created soft, undulating mounds on the ground, making each step a gentle sinking into the yielding surface. The world inside the thicket felt hushed, a secret place where the raw energy of winter was subdued. This enclosed forest space provided not just physical relief from the harsh winds, but also a profound sense of stability and reassurance. The bear would occasionally pause, a magnificent figure of stillness amidst the ancient cedars. During these moments of rest, its calm breathing was the most prominent sound, a soft exhalation that vanished into the cold, quiet air. Its body, accustomed to relentless travel, found a brief respite, a moment for deep relaxation within this comforting haven. The rhythmic routine of cautious movement and patient searching was a familiar dance, reinforcing the enduring connection between the animal and its peaceful wilderness home. The cedar thicket, with its heavy snow shadows and minimal wind penetration, became a temporary dwelling, a gentle pause in the bear's continuous journey. It was a space designed by nature for refuge, a place where one could feel a profound safety from the elements, allowing for a peaceful mind to settle. The bear continued to amble through the thick growth, its presence a quiet testament to life's enduring resilience in the heart of winter. The soft air and enveloping stillness of the grove allowed the night to progress in a gentle, almost imperceptible way, preparing the bear for the next phase of its predictable wanderings. Chapter 11. The grizzly bear, with a profound and quiet determination, slowly began to traverse a narrow cliff edge. This passage, etched into the formidable rock, was a ribbon of snow and ice, offering a pathway where one side of the world dropped away into a vast, dark wilderness below, stretching out into an unseen distance, and the other side rose steeply into the sheer, unyielding stone of the mountain. It was a landscape of stark contrasts of solid rock and open air, of the known path and the deep, silent expanse. Strong yet gently persistent winds pushed across the exposed stone. These currents, though powerful enough to sculpt the snow into graceful, flowing patterns, carried only a soft, continuous hum, a peaceful sound that underscored the immense stillness of the high altitude. The bear adjusted its posture, allowing its sturdy, well-muscled body to absorb the steady pressure of the wind, maintaining a remarkable calm. Each stretching, sturdy paw was placed with deliberate care, sinking just slightly into the frosted surface, finding secure purchase on the snowy ledge. This careful footing was a testament to the bear's deep, inherent survival instinct, a quiet knowledge of its own strength and agility within the immense, peaceful wilderness. The bear paused frequently, a towering silhouette against the dark, distant horizons. These moments of stillness were not born of hesitation, but of considered assessment. It would stand perfectly balanced, allowing its substantial weight to settle, sensing the subtle vibrations through the rock beneath its paws. Its quiet ears would twitch almost imperceptibly, listening to the vast, encompassing silence, broken only by the gentle whispers of the wind. This deliberate rhythm of movement and rest ensured a predictable, calm progression along the challenging path. The air here was crisp and cold, carrying the clean, pure scent of ice and ancient stone, mingling with the faint, earthy scent of the bear's own thick fur rustling softly in the breeze. The immense vertical scale of the Alaskan winter geography unfolded around the bear. Above, the dark sky stretched out, occasionally revealing a faint, soft gleam of a star through the drifting cloud wisps, adding a touch of distant light to the serene night. Below, the wilderness was a tapestry of deeper shadows, an undulating expanse of sleeping valleys and unseen forests, all held within the quiet embrace of the darkness. There was a subtle mystery in this vastness, a peaceful unknown that did not provoke alarm, but rather a sense of deep, enduring stability. The bear's methodical steps, the patient pauses, all contributed to an atmosphere of profound comfort. With each measured advance, the bear demonstrated an unwavering balance. Its head remained low, its gaze steady, assessing the contours of the snow, the texture of the ice, the subtle shifts in the rock. The strong, deep muscles in its legs worked in smooth, coordinated movements, lifting and placing each paw with an almost tender precision. The snow on the ledge felt soft and yielding in places, firm and compacted in others, each variation noted by the sensitive pads of its paws. The cold stone pressed against the thick fur of its underside, a constant gentle reminder of the high mountain environment. As the bear continued its slow journey along the cliff, the very act of its movement became a soothing, predictable rhythm. The occasional soft crack of ice underfoot was absorbed into the pervasive silent nature, a fleeting sound that did not disturb the overarching quietude. The air moved freely here, unrestricted by trees, yet its presence was more a gentle caress than a harsh assault, consistent with the calm night sky. The bear was entirely focused on its path, its movements a meditation on balance and instinct, an effortless integration with the demanding landscape. There was a profound sense of safety in the bear's calm, deliberate actions. It was not hurried, never rushed, simply present in each moment, placing one paw carefully after another. The sheer rock rising beside it offered a grounding presence, a solid, immovable counterpoint to the open space beyond the edge. The expansive view, though largely obscured by night, hinted at a world of untouched beauty and quiet grandeur, encouraging a peaceful mind. The bear was a creature perfectly adapted to this immense sleeping wilderness, its powerful form moving with an innate grace through the challenging terrain. The winds would momentarily lessen, creating pockets of absolute stillness that felt like a gentle invitation to rest even on the exposed ledge. In these brief lulls, the bear would stand motionless, its breathing slow and steady, a soft exhalation that vanished quickly into the cold air. It was during these moments that the profound quiet of the cliffside truly settled, a deep relaxation washing over the landscape, allowing the faintest, most distant sounds from the valley below to reach its sensitive ears, though they were too indistinct to decipher. The entire scene was one of enduring stability, a continuous flow of predictable, gentle actions in a grand, natural setting, slowly progressing towards the next phase of its nocturnal wanderings. Chapter 12. The grizzly bear completed its meticulous traverse along the high, snowy cliff edge, its sturdy paws having found secure purchase on the windswept stone. From that exposed height, the immense, dark expanse of the coastal wilderness had spread out below, a silent invitation to new terrain. Now the bear began a long, gentle descent, following a winding path that gradually led from the craggy, elevated slopes down towards the vast, glimmering plain of a quiet fjord. Each step was deliberate, sinking into the accumulated snow that softened the rocky path, a steady, predictable rhythm carrying it onward through the deep night. The air began to change subtly as the bear drew closer to the sea. The dry, crisp cold of the higher altitudes gave way to a distinct chill that carried a new, intriguing scent. A faint, almost imperceptible hint of salt touched the slowly circulating air, a unique characteristic of this coastal realm. The distant roar of the ocean, a muffled, deep rumble that had been a constant companion in the vastness, now grew clearer, a soft, rhythmic pulse beneath the heavy ice. The stillness of the mountains was slowly yielding to the pervasive, silent nature of the frozen sea. Finally, the grizzly bear stepped onto the shoreline of the fjord, a sweeping expanse where the immensity of the frozen ocean met the formidable, jagged mountains. The scene was one of breathtaking scale, yet permeated by an overriding sense of calm and profound tranquility. Under the expansive, calm night sky, countless ice plates of varying sizes, some as large as small clearings, others mere fragments, drifted silently against the shore. Their movement was languid, a graceful, unhurried dance on the dark waters visible beneath the larger sheets. As these colossal ice structures shifted and settled, they produced soft, resonant cracking sounds. These were not sharp, abrupt noises, but deep, lingering groans and whispers, like the gentle sigh of the earth itself, slowly adjusting. These profound yet quiet utterances echoed across the frozen expanse, adding a rhythmic, almost musical quality to the gentle night ambience. The bear paused, its powerful form a silhouette against the pale gleam of the ice, its quiet ears twitching slightly, absorbing this new symphony of the wilderness. The bear began to explore the edges of the ice-laden shoreline, its heavy paws padding across riverbanks now transformed into sea-lapped margins. Its massive head dipped low, sniffing cool breezes that carried the saline breath of the ocean. It moved with an ancient curiosity, a peaceful mind guiding its every motion, seeking any signs of marine life remains that might have been carried by the tides and deposited along the frozen boundary. Perhaps a small fish frozen solid or a fragment of shell, now part of the icy landscape. The cold sea wind, steady and unwavering, brushed against its thick fur, rustling softly. This wind felt different from the mountain gusts. It carried the vastness of the open water, a clean, sharp edge that awakened new sensations. The introduction of salt into the air changed the sensory texture of the environment completely. It was a tangible presence, a taste on the breeze, a subtle scent that mingled with the cold, earthy smell of rock and ice. This expanded the bear's understanding of its world, from the familiar inland forests and ridgelines to this wild coastal frontier. The grizzly continued its methodical investigation, its slow breathing visible as gentle plumes in the crisp air. It passed by ancient, weather-beaten rocks that stood like stoic sentinels, their surfaces slick with frozen spray. Here and there, small pockets of water, protected by thicker ice, glimmered faintly, reflecting the distant stars above. The bear's journey into this coastal winter ecosystem felt like a natural, unforced expansion, a predictable unfolding of its life in the vast, peaceful wilderness. There was a profound sense of safety in its calm, unhurried exploration. No sudden movements, no urgency, only the steady rhythm of a creature perfectly adapted to its surroundings. The stillness of the fjord, broken only by the soft, cracking sounds of the ice, created an atmosphere of deep comfort. The very air seemed to encourage deep relaxation, as if the immense, silent landscape was breathing alongside the bear as the bear ventured further along the shore, gazing across valleys formed by the confluence of mountain and sea. The profound depths of the deep night conditions embraced it fully. The stars above burned with an unwavering intensity, their light scattered across the frozen mirror lake of the fjord surface. The bear found a sheltered spot, partially protected by a large, snow-covered boulder, and settled slowly for a brief moment of rest. Its large body sank gently into the snow, curling into warmth, a testament to the enduring rhythm of nature. The steady murmur of the ice, the gentle breath of the sea wind, and the profound quiet of the night combined to create a sense of absolute stability. The world felt vast and encompassing, yet utterly peaceful. The bear's temporary repose was a moment of perfect harmony with its majestic surroundings, a silent narrative unfolding within the vast, peaceful mind of the wilderness. It was a scene of quiet strength and enduring comfort, a soft transition within its continuous, gentle journey. The exploration of the fjord with its unique sensory details slowly drew to its natural conclusion, leaving the bear ready to continue its tranquil path along the coast towards the next subtle shift in the silent nature of the Alaskan winter night. Chapter 13. The bear had moved beyond the vast, fractured expanse of the fjord's direct interface with the mountains, its journey now guiding it along a more defined stretch of the winter coastline. The terrain subtly shifted, leaving the sheer, cold cliffs and deep, blue-tinged ice of the fjord behind, instead presenting a flatter, yet equally mesmerizing landscape. This new pathway was a long, tranquil beach, gently curving where the land met the immense, silent sea. It was a place of accumulated time, where the powerful forces of the ocean had deposited countless relics of its ceaseless ebb and flow. Here, the beach stretched out, wide and seemingly endless under the persistent, deep night sky. It was strewn with ancient driftwood, vast, gnarled pieces of timber, smoothed and bleached by years of salt water and sun, now half buried in the soft, undisturbed snow. These venerable logs lay like slumbering giants, their forms draped in white, creating elongated shadows that stretched across the frozen sand. Alongside these larger pieces of wood were myriad smaller fragments of sea ice, sparkling faintly where the ambient light touched their crystalline surfaces. Each shard and sliver was a testament to the ocean's intricate artistry, reflecting the quietude of the vast frozen waters. The grizzly bear, a dark, robust silhouette against the pale, snow-covered shore, continued its measured progress. Its movements were profoundly slowly and exquisitely gently, a seamless integration into the vast, peaceful wilderness. Each of its powerful paws descended with care, pressing into the uneven, icy sand, finding sure footing amidst the scattered debris. The silence of the night was profound, yet not absolute. Beneath the thick, encompassing layer of sea ice that extended far out from the shore, the distant waves continued their timeless rhythm. These muffled sounds, a low, continuous murmur, felt like the very peaceful heartbeat of the hidden ocean, a constant, underlying thrum that resonated through the profound stillness of the cold air. The air along this coastal stretch carried a different quality than the sharper, more intense cold of the fjord's immediate face. It felt softer here, perhaps due to the more expansive, open layout of the beach, allowing the atmosphere to spread more broadly. Yet it remained deeply cold, a constant, pervasive chill that encouraged steady, deliberate motion. The bear's slow breathing created plumes of vapor that briefly materialized before dissolving into the vastness, a gentle reminder of its living warmth within the frigid expanse. As it traversed this landscape of ancient wood and frozen water, the bear began its patient investigation. Its head, held low, moved rhythmically from side to side, its large, sensitive nose sniffing cool breezes that whispered along the shore, its quiet ears twitching almost imperceptibly, attuned to the slightest sound that might break the pervasive silent nature. It was searching, not with urgency, but with a deep, inherent curiosity for potential food traces that the tides might have deposited, perhaps a discarded shell, a fragment of kelp, or the faint, lingering scent of a marine creature, now preserved by the frost. Each piece of weathered driftwood became a point of interest. The bear would approach, its robust body moving with an unhurried grace, and stretching sturdy paws to gently turn over smaller logs or investigate the crevices of larger ones. The textures of the wood varied immensely. Some were smooth and worn, like ancient bones, while others retained the rough, splintered edges of their origin. The snow, clinging to the contours of the wood, softened their harshness, making them appear almost sculptural in the dim light. There was a faint, earthy aroma emanating from some of the waterlogged timber, mingling with the subtle, clean scent of the salt-kissed air and the cold purity of the snow. This methodical exploration of the driftwood-scattered beach offered a calm contrast to the rugged, mountainous terrain the bear had encountered earlier in its journey. The slopes and jagged peaks had demanded a different kind of focus, a careful ascent and descent. Here, the challenge was in the unevenness of the icy sand, the unpredictable slipperiness beneath its massive paws, and the sheer scale of the expanse. Yet, the overall feeling remained one of deep stability and enduring comfort. The predictable rhythm of the waves, even muffled, served as a grounding presence, a natural metronome against which the bear's own slow, steady movements unfolded. This transitional space, existing harmoniously between the vast, churning ocean and the silent, snow-laden forest ecosystems, provided a unique kind of refuge. It was a zone where the powerful energies of both worlds met and melded, creating a distinctive environment. The bear was a creature of the forest, yet entirely at home by the frozen sea, its adaptable nature allowing it to thrive in the heart of this peaceful wilderness. Its wandering forest clearings near the shoreline became a testament to this versatility. its journey a fluid progression through varied landscapes. The patient observation of the frozen environment, the deliberate sifting through the scattered debris, and the constant gentle attentiveness to its surroundings all contributed to a profound sense of stillness. This stillness was not merely the absence of sound, but an inner composure, a deep sense of being present within the moment. The bear's entire being seemed to resonate with the quiet energy of the night, a calming presence amidst the vast slumbering world. The long night hours continued to unfold, moving imperceptibly yet steadily forward. The coastal air, soft and clean, wrapped around the bear, offering a quiet assurance. There was no urgency, no rush in its movements, only the steady, predictable rhythm of exploration and existence. Each step, each pause, each quiet sniff into the frozen detritus of the beach was a part of this enduring cycle. The bear was entirely at rest within this moment, its spirit finding comfort in the routine of its journey. The constant low murmur of the waves beneath the ice, a calm breathing sound from the ocean's depths, continued to fill the background, a natural lullaby. The bear, immersed in its quiet exploration, became an anchor of tranquility in the grand canvas of the winter night. This serene scene of a powerful creature moving with such grace and peace through a world of ice and snow invited a profound, deep relaxation. It guided the listener into a state of peaceful mind, allowing thoughts to drift like the fragments of sea ice freely and without constraint, under the overarching, all-encompassing silent nature of the deep, cold night. The world felt utterly safe, profoundly stable, and wonderfully still. Chapter 14. The grizzly bear turned its massive form away from the quiet expanse of the coastal fjord. Its unhurried steps began a slowly increasing ascent, leaving behind the subtle, briny sense of the driftwood silence beach and moving towards the rising ground of the inland mountains. The air grew crisper with each gentle incline, exchanging the soft sea spray for the sharper chill of higher elevations. This gradual climb led the bear towards a vast mountain pass, a place where the elements often moved with great purpose. As the bear reached the pass, a light blizzard was already in the process of fading, its most forceful energy having spent itself. What remained was a swirling dance of soft snow carried on the calm breath of the wind. These delicate flakes drifted and settled, leaving intricate, transient patterns in their wake. The world around the bear was a symphony of muted grays and whites, a landscape hushed by the retreating storm. Visibility fluctuated gently as the wind currents shifted through the ridges. For moments the faint outlines of distant peaks would sharpen, only to soften again into a veil of drifting white as unseen gusts carried fresh wisps of powder. The bear pushed forward with predictable steadiness, its powerful physique a silent testament to enduring resilience through the challenging terrain. Each stretching, sturdy paw found its grip with quiet precision, pressing down into the yielding snow, then lifting with an unhurried grace. There was a profound stillness within its movements, an unshakable inner calm that guided it through the dissolving conditions of the high mountain pass. It paused only occasionally to sniff cool breezes that carried the sharp, clean scent of pure mountain air, a smell entirely devoid of the recent sea salt, a gentle transition for its senses. The storm's retreat was a gradual, soft easing of nature's intensity. The turbulent energy that had moments ago swept across the pass now began to dissipate, transforming into a more controlled, profound quiet. The constant hum of the wind, though still present, lost its edge, becoming a more pervasive, gentle night ambience. The deep night itself seemed to respond to this lessening, the vast shadows that had been obscured by the churning snow beginning to reassert their presence, softening the outlines of the distant ridges. A tangible sense of comfort settled upon the landscape as the blizzard relinquished its hold. The bear, a silent sentinel amidst this change, felt the environment return to a more profound sense of stability. It was a natural restoration, a peaceful unfolding in the quiet forest of mountain stone, guiding a peaceful mind towards deep relaxation. This perseverance, marked by stillness and unwavering purpose, generated a feeling of profound safety within the bear. Its journey through the peaceful wilderness was one of continuous, unhurried progression, even as the world around it slowly changed. The bear's soft breath rising into the cold air marked its continuous, calm breathing through the serene transition. It was an enduring journey through the silent nature, with each step bringing it closer to a renewed sense of stillness on the high mountain pass. The deep night, having witnessed the fading blizzard, now seemed to gather its composure, preparing for the subtle shifts that would lead it towards a future, softer dawn. The bear, now resting after wandering through the dissipating storm, continued its gentle journey, a figure of absolute comfort in the vast, sleepy woodland mountains. Chapter 15. The grizzly bear, with its enduring strength and quiet determination, began its slow descent from the exposed mountain pass, leaving the last whispers of the fading blizzard behind. Each deliberate step brought it further into a deep, sheltered ravine, a profound sanctuary carved into the vast winter landscape. Tall, icy walls rose on either side, shimmering faintly in the lingering deep night, creating a natural barrier against the relentless winds that had swept across the higher peaks. Within this tranquil hollow, the air settled into an almost profound stillness, a noticeable and immediate change from the turbulent heights. Accumulated snowdrifts, soft and undisturbed, formed gentle mounds along the ravine's floor, creating a landscape of rolling white contours. These generous layers of snow provided an insulating blanket, cradling the earth and holding a surprising, subtle warmth within the ravine's embrace. Despite the pervasive deep winter conditions that held the wider wilderness in its grasp, this secluded space felt distinctly milder, a calm pocket of comfort. The bear's thick fur, usually an excellent shield against the cold, now seemed almost unnecessary in this protected environment. With a peaceful sigh that stirred only the faintest wisp of mist from its powerful lungs, the bear paused its long journey. Its sturdy paws, which had traversed so much varied terrain, now found a soft, yielding surface upon which to rest. The deep ravine, with its quiet serenity, offered a welcome moment of recovery. The long hours of travel, the arduous crossing of the mountain pass, and the steady push through the swirling snow had demanded much energy. Here, nestled amongst the snowdrifts and shielded by the towering icy walls, the bear could conserve its strength, allowing its body to settle into a natural state of ease. A profound quiet descended upon the bear. The gentle hum of the wind, once a constant companion, was now completely blocked, replaced by a deep, resonant silence that seemed to absorb all other sounds. Only the softest creak of settling snow or the nearly imperceptible shift of air currents within the ravine broke the absolute stillness. This undisturbed atmosphere allowed the bear's calm breathing to deepen further, a slow, rhythmic ebb and flow that bespoke profound relaxation. Its large, quiet ears, which had constantly twitched to every sound in the exposed world, now remained almost entirely motionless, finding no immediate threats in this haven. The ravine offered more than just physical shelter. It provided a feeling of profound safety and stability. The towering walls, encrusted with intricate patterns of frost and ice, created an impregnable fortress against the elements, a natural refuge in the heart of the Alaskan winter. The bear settled its massive form amongst the soft mounds of snow, curling into warmth, allowing its muscles to ease their tension. This was a predictable pause, a necessary interlude in the continuous journey where the instinct for survival was met with the comfort of a temporary home. As the bear rested, its powerful body a monument to the peaceful wilderness, the long night began its graceful shift toward its final, gentle hours. The pervasive darkness, still deep, held a promise of eventual change, but within the ravine, time seemed to slow even further. The bear's eyes, heavy with the quiet effort of its travels, slowly closed. Its peaceful mind drifted, perhaps through images of flowing water or the scents of summer berries, finding a deep relaxation that permeated its entire being. This calm interlude was a moment for deep sleep, a restorative pause before the next phase of its enduring journey through the vast silent nature. The collected snowdrifts around it felt like a soft, comforting bed, holding it securely in the profound stillness of this hidden place. Chapter 16. Emerging from the sheltered ravine where the wind's reach had been hushed, the grizzly bear once more encountered the pervasive, deep cold of the winter night. Its robust form moved with a familiar, gentle deliberation, padding across riverbanks of snow that now felt crisp and unyielding beneath its stretching, sturdy paws. The air, though bitter, carried a new, intriguing whisper, a subtle deviation from the prevailing icy silence. A faint, earthy warmth, mingled with a distinct, almost mineral tang, began to drift on the quiet currents that sifted through the peaceful wilderness. The bear paused, its quiet ears twitching slightly, discerning the unusual scent. This was not the scent of animal, nor pine, but something ancient, rising from the very earth itself. Driven by this soft, unfolding mystery, the bear turned slowly, altering its trajectory to follow the increasing warmth in the air. Each deliberate step brought it closer to the source, the stark cold of the night gradually softening around it. Ahead, in the profound stillness of the landscape, a delicate plume of mist became visible, rising like a whisper from the snow-covered ground. It was an ethereal sight, a soft exhalation from the earth, glowing faintly under the distant silver pinpricks of starlight. The contrast was striking. The vast frozen expanse surrounding, and this gentle, misty column ascending into the calm night sky. The grizzly bear reached the edge of this remarkable place, a geothermal spring where water, warmed from deep within the earth, seeped through barely visible cracks in the snow and stone. Here, the snow did not lie in unbroken drifts but was disturbed, melted slightly at the edges, revealing dark, wet earth beneath. The steam rose continuously, forming swirling, ephemeral layers that caught the faint starlight, creating an almost dreamlike atmosphere. The air was noticeably warmer, a pocket of unexpected solace in the unforgiving cold. The bear remained, a figure of profound stillness, observing the perpetual dance of vapor. A deep sense of comfort settled upon the bear as the gentle warmth enveloped its thick fur. It lowered its heavy head, sniffing cool breezes that now carried the distinct mineral essence of the spring, a scent both earthy and clean. The rising steam created soft, shifting veils, obscuring and revealing the subtle contours of the ground in a mesmerizing, non-threatening display. The usual silent nature of the winter night was here softened by the almost imperceptible hiss of the steam and the faint bubbling sounds from beneath the hidden snow. The bear felt no urgency to move on from this unusual sanctuary. It settled its body, allowing the radiant heat to penetrate its coat, finding a moment of deep rest. Its calm breathing created small, misty clouds that merged almost instantly with the larger plumes of steam rising from the earth. The unusual environment, this rare pocket of warmth, signaled a subtle shift in the relentless grip of winter. Though the starlight still held sway, the very presence of this natural heat hinted at a gradual atmospheric transition, a gentle nudge towards the earliest pre-dawn conditions, a faint promise of the slow turning of the night. The bear, in its peaceful lingering by the warm ground, embodying the very essence of deep relaxation, finding safety in this unexpected gift of the peaceful wilderness. The warmth eased into its limbs, inviting a peaceful mind to settle further into the continuous, tranquil journey. The misty glow continued to rise, a silent sentinel in the sleepy woodland, a natural beacon of comfort through the profound stillness of the cold Alaskan hours. Chapter 17. The warmth of the hidden springs began to recede softly behind the grizzly bear as it moved with a gentle, measured gait. Its sturdy paws pressed slowly into the untouched snow, leaving imprints that soon filled with the subtle stillness of the deep winter air. The soft mist from the geothermal activity faded into the memory of the night, giving way to an even profounder quiet as the bear ambled deeper into the ancient pine forest core. Here the world seemed to slow its already peaceful rhythm. Monumental trees laden heavily with thick accumulations of snow stood like silent sentinels, their immense forms motionless against the fading indigo of the pre-dawn sky. Each branch, a testament to seasons long past, held its burden of white, creating a dense, insulating canopy overhead. The air within this venerable grove was profoundly still, so utterly quiet that it seemed to absorb all sound, wrapping the environment in an almost ethereal hush. No breath of wind disturbed the delicate balance of snow on bough. No rustle broke the profound silence. The grizzly bear continued its gentle search, a steady, unhurried progression through the sleepy woodland. Its quiet ears twitched, perhaps for the subtle vibrations of its own soft breath rising in the cold air, or the minute crunch of fresh powder beneath a stretching, sturdy paw. The vast expanse of the Alaskan winter wilderness felt distilled into this single, timeless space, a sanctuary of enduring stillness. Its calm movements were deliberate, a predictable rhythm that had guided its life through countless seasons. Beneath the frozen brush, hidden by layers of snow and ice, the bear sought faint traces of sustenance. It moved slowly, lowering its massive head to discern subtle scents that lingered close to the forest floor. The ground was a tapestry of frozen earth and ancient pine needles, covered by the soft, continuous blanket of snow. This patient exploration was not hurried or urgent. Rather, it was a methodical unfolding, an ingrained part of its existence, performed with an unwavering sense of comfort and stability. The heavy snow on the branches above filtered the faint starlight, transforming it into a diffused, gentle glow that barely penetrated the deep shadows. This created an atmosphere of deep relaxation, where every detail seemed softened, every edge blurred by the quiet serenity. The towering pines themselves seemed to exude a sense of safety, their sheer presence a testament to enduring strength in the face of winter's embrace. The peaceful forest night settled around the bear, a silent witness to its ongoing journey. With each deliberate step, the bear confirmed the unshakable stillness of this core forest. It paused, perhaps choosing to settle beneath pines, allowing its massive body to absorb the quiet surroundings. There was no need for haste here, only the steady continuation of a predictable routine. The profound quiet contributed to a peaceful mind, both for the bear moving through its world and for anyone observing its calm existence. The scent of ancient pine resin, sharp and clean, hung in the still air, mingling with the subtle, earthy fragrance of frozen soil. These simple, constant sensory details reinforced the comfort of the environment. The grizzly bear was an integral part of this silent nature, its presence adding to the deep tranquility. It might choose a sheltered spot beneath a particularly large cedar, dozing under cedars for a brief moment of quiet rest, its soft breath rising steadily, almost imperceptibly, in the profound cold. The world outside this deep pine interior, with its vast fjords and high mountain passes, felt distant, almost forgotten in this cocoon of stillness. Here, time itself seemed to have slowed, stretched thin by the pervasive quiet. The bear's long journey through the winter night found a profound pause in this ancient forest, a moment of deep calm before the subtle shift towards the morning light that waited beyond the tree line. The gentle night ambience embraced it fully, promising continuation without interruption, a smooth transition into the next phase of its life. The bear continued its soft, steady movements, a comforting presence within the heart of the peaceful wilderness, perfectly aligned with the deep, quiet rhythm of the sleeping earth. Its peaceful foraging, its unhurried pace, all contributed to the pervasive feeling of safety and comfort, a truly relaxing sleep story unfolding with each passing moment of this still night. Chapter 18. The grizzly emerged with gentle grace from the protective embrace of the ancient pine forest, leaving behind the profound, insulating stillness of the deep woods. The soft, snow-laden boughs of the cedars, which had offered such comforting shelter, now receded, giving way to an entirely new expanse. The air, which had been so entirely quiet and almost warm among the thick boughs, now carried a new, sharper crispness, a cold that spoke of immense open spaces and the deep, silent breath of ages. Its sturdy paws, accustomed to padding across forest floor and accumulated snow, now felt a distinct and profound chill beneath them, an unyielding cold that radiated from the very earth itself, yet without any harshness, only a deep, stable presence. Before the bear lay a vast, sprawling expanse of ice, the majestic edge of a great glacier stretching far into the fading night. This immense frozen river of time was a place of profound stillness, a monument sculpted by countless winters, its very presence a testament to the slow, relentless power of nature. The landscape here offered a different kind of peaceful wilderness, a grandeur that was both immense and utterly calm. The deep blue ice, a color of ancient mystery, began to reveal itself in muted tones under the lingering cloak of darkness. It hinted at untold layers of frozen history beneath its smooth, seemingly impenetrable surface, a quiet record of seasons long past. Here and there, vast crevasses like deep, silent chasms etched into the face of the earth, opened into profound, shadowy depths. From these deep, still fissures, faint cold air currents rose, a soft, almost imperceptible breath of the glacier itself, a constant, gentle reminder of the immense, stable cold held within. The air carried the pure, clean scent of millennia of frozen water, a scent unique to this high, icy domain. The grizzly moved with a deliberate slowness, each step a careful study of the formidable terrain. Its powerful, heavy body shifted with an innate grace, adapting effortlessly to the subtle undulations and sharp edges of the ice. The ground beneath its thick furred paws was not simply hard, it was an intricate mosaic of frozen water, sometimes smooth and reflective like a vast, still mirror under the calm night sky, at other times jagged and uneven, demanding the bear's focused and gentle attention. Its movements were predictable, a rhythmic padding across the challenging surface. Ahead, the path across the glacier edge was broken by shifting snow bridges, ephemeral connections of white powder spanning the deeper blue chasms. These fragile, temporary crossings required immense care, and the bear, with its deep, ancient wisdom, knew to approach them with a profound sense of caution and a peaceful mind. It did not rush, did not hesitate, but rather assessed each potential passage with a calm, discerning gaze, its quiet ears twitching almost imperceptibly, not for sounds of immediate threat, but perhaps for the subtle vibrations in the ice. The gentle whisper of the glacier settling under its own immense weight. The feeling of safety was paramount in its every deliberate motion, a comforting presence in this vast icy world. The very air around the glacier held a unique kind of stillness, a quiet born of vastness and profound cold. There were no rustling leaves here, no shifting boughs, only the occasional soft sigh of the wind as it drifted over the expansive ice, carrying with it the pure, clean scent of deep winter. This peaceful wilderness was a world sculpted by endless silent winters, a place where time seemed to slow, to almost pause, allowing for a deep relaxation of the senses and a profound sense of comfort. The bear's gentle journey across this formidable yet serene landscape was a testament to its enduring spirit, a predictable rhythm of careful movement. Its sturdy paws, padding across the icy expanse, found secure purchase even on the slickest surfaces, a soft reassurance in the face of such grandeur. It was a picture of perfect stability, a creature in harmonious balance with its challenging yet utterly calm environment. The thick fur rustling against the pristine ice created no harsh sound, only a gentle friction, a part of the pervasive silent nature. As the bear continued its patient progression, a subtle shift began to occur in the overarching darkness. The distant edges of the sky, high above the glacier, seemed to lighten almost imperceptibly, a faint, soft gray replacing the deeper indigo of the night. It was the first gentle hint of early dawn, a promise whispered across the vast, silent nature of the world. This slow transition brought a sense of quiet anticipation, not of excitement, but of a natural, inevitable unfolding, a quiet assurance of continued progression. The deep blue of the glacier, so dominant in the fading night, now began to gather a new, ethereal quality, reflecting the nascent light with a soft, internal glow. The large, heavy body of the grizzly moved like a living shadow across this luminous surface, its presence adding a grounded, comforting counterpoint to the sublime scale of the ice. It was a moment of profound peace, a journey into the heart of a frozen world, guided by ancient instinct and an unshakable sense of calm. ensuring deep relaxation. The intricate patterns of cracks in the ice, which had seemed like profound breaks in the surface, now appeared as delicate, artful designs, telling a silent story of geological time and gradual transformation. The bear did not rush, did not hurry. Its internal clock, attuned to the vast cycles of the earth, moved at the same unhurried pace as the slowly fading stars in the western sky. Each step was a small, steady affirmation of its belonging in this immense, peaceful wilderness, a continuous act of rest within motion. It was a slow dance of cautious movement, the grizzly's thick fur rustling almost silently as it shifted its immense weight. The occasional soft creak of the ice beneath its weight was not a sound of alarm, but a natural resonance, a deep, earth-born melody in the silent night. This gentle night ambiance filled the air, encouraging a peaceful mind and offering a unique form of comfort amidst the pervasive cold. The bear paused for a moment, its head lifting slightly, sniffing the cool breezes that carried the faintest, purest scent of distant, untouched mountains. Its broad shoulders, strong and steady, settled briefly, allowing for a moment of quiet rest, a pause that contributed to the profound stillness of the scene. The immense, still expanse of the glacier offered a canvas for thoughts as serene and unhurried as the bear's own journey. There was a sense of inherent safety woven into its methodical actions, a silent reassurance that even in this grand, demanding landscape, life found its calm, predictable path. The distant whispers of the wind, carrying over the smooth ice, seemed to merge with the bear's own soft breath rising, creating a harmonious, lulling soundscape. The ancient layers of the glacier, visible in the deeper blue of its crevasses, spoke of time's long, slow passage, of stability and endurance. The grizzly was a timeless part of this enduring story, a gentle wanderer in a world of profound natural forces, observing the vastness with a calm, internal peace. As the first faint hues of pre-dawn light kissed the highest distant peaks, the glacier itself seemed to sigh, a collective, silent exhalation. The bear continued to move, not towards any specific destination with urgency, but simply onward, allowing the subtle pull of the awakening day to gently guide its journey. The cold remained, a constant, stable presence, but it was a comfortable cold, an integral part of the pervasive stillness, leading toward a sense of completion. The glacier edge, with its intricate patterns and deep, silent chasms, became a metaphor for the quiet strength of the wilderness. The bear's calm navigation emphasized that even the most challenging terrains could be traversed with a deep sense of peace and careful attention. Its deliberate movements created a soothing, rhythmic narrative, a quiet journey for the deepest relaxation and a peaceful mind. The feeling of safety was always present, woven into the very fabric of its existence, a constant comfort. The vastness of the frozen landscape, under the soft, transitional light, held a quiet majesty. The grizzly, a solitary figure, seemed perfectly at home, a guardian of this immense frozen stillness. Its unhurried pace was an invitation to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to simply be present in the quiet, unfolding moments of this peaceful wilderness. The world was slowly brightening, yet the deep calm of the night persisted, a gentle echo that lingered, promising continued peace as the bear continued its gentle journey. Chapter 19. After the intricate textures of the glacier's ancient ice, the grizzly bear's sturdy paws, accustomed to varied terrain, now found purchase upon the vast, open expanse of an Arctic tundra plateau. The subtle change in footing was a quiet transition from the deep, fractured blue of the ice to the broad, unbroken white of the snow-laden land. Here, the landscape stretched out in every direction, an immense sweeping canvas under a sky that was just beginning its slow, magnificent transformation. The profound darkness of the long winter night, which had accompanied the bear for so many hours, was now gradually relinquishing its hold. On the distant horizon, a faint, almost imperceptible hint of dawn began to appear. It was not a sudden burst of light, nor a dramatic reveal, but a soft, shy promise, a gentle unfolding of new beginnings. This nascent light painted the snow in a pale gradient of gray-blue hues, a delicate watercolor wash across the enormous, quiet wilderness. The world seemed to hold its breath, caught between the lingering peace of deep night and the emerging serenity of morning. A noticeably gentler wind, unlike the stronger currents encountered on higher ridges and exposed glacier edges, now whispered softly across the immense plain.
It was a calm breath, carrying a pristine clarity, rustling the thick fur of the grizzly bear with an almost imperceptible touch. This softer breeze provided a mild reassurance, a sensation of comfort as it drifted over the vastness without the sharp bite of earlier hours. The open tundra with its uninterrupted horizon
evoked a deep feeling of peaceful stability, a sense of boundless security beneath the slowly lightening sky. The bear moved slowly, with an inherent wisdom guiding each placement of its large, powerful paws. It ambled across the frozen ground, its gait unhurried, a predictable rhythm established through countless journeys across the wilderness. The deep snow, less compacted here than on the glacier, offered a consistent resistance, allowing the bear to conserve its considerable energy with each deliberate step. This methodical progression was part of its quiet routine, a continuous act of being in harmony with the environment, a gentle exploration of the vast snow-covered meadows. As the pale gray-blue light deepened its hold on the landscape, illuminating every distant contour and every subtle drift, the sense of an awakening world became more pronounced. The bear paused, its massive head lifted slightly, taking in the profound stillness that settled upon the tundra. Its quiet ears twitched, sifting through the ambient sounds, the gentle sigh of the wind, the almost inaudible shift of snow crystals. There was no urgency in its posture, only a patient observation, a deep relaxation born of unwavering presence in the vast, silent nature. The extensive openness of the tundra plateau allowed for an unparalleled feeling of freedom, yet it was a freedom deeply intertwined with the prevailing calm. The air, crisp and pure, filled the bear's lungs with each slow breath, exhaling soft clouds that dissipated into the burgeoning light. This steady breathing underscored the bear's peaceful mind, its innate connection to the expansive environment. It continued its deliberate movement, a dark, powerful silhouette against the gradually brightening canvas, a figure of enduring strength and quiet purpose. The environment transitioned with such grace, each moment flowing into the next, without any sudden shifts or abrupt changes. The deep night receded like a slow, retreating tide, yielding space to the earliest phase of morning. This subtle dance of light and shadow, the gradual softening of the horizon, unfolded with a comforting predictability. The bear's journey across this immense landscape was a testament to its resilience, yet also to its profound ability to find rest and solace within the continuous movement. It was a picture of perfect, unhurried progression, easing gently into the promise of the coming day. The feeling of safety here was interwoven with the sheer scale of the land. Miles of untouched snow stretched out, silent and vast, offering no surprises, only a continuation of the undisturbed natural order. The bear, a creature perfectly adapted to this immense, quiet world, moved with the confidence of an ancient presence. Its steady advance across the peaceful wilderness, under the soft, emerging light, instilled a sense of deep comfort, a reassurance that all was well in this sleepy woodland. As the journey continued towards its gentle, luminous conclusion, the tranquil scene invited a profound sense of peacefulness, allowing the mind to drift in gentle contemplation as the tundra plateau softly revealed its early morning face. Chapter 20. The softest hint of golden light began its slow ascent, reaching across the vast expanse of the Alaskan foothills, a delicate brushstroke against the pale pre-dawn sky. This new radiance, born from beyond distant snow-capped peaks, spread with infinite gentle slowness, pushing back the last vestiges of the long winter night. The grizzly bear, a solitary silhouette against the brightening horizon, continued its calm and steady movement, each deliberate step pressing into the pristine, unbroken snow. The air, still holding the deep chill of pre-dawn, now felt subtly invigorated, touched by the promise of the coming day, carrying an almost imperceptible soft scent of awakening earth and ice. The expansive snowfields, stretching endlessly beneath the burgeoning light, shimmered with a new, subtle luminescence, reflecting the shifting hues from gray-blue to the faintest rose. The bear's journey, a continuous thread through countless hours of silent nature, was gently unfolding into its serene conclusion. As the sun climbed higher, no longer just a hint but a definite presence, its rays stretched further across the landscape, bathing the world in a warm, soft, golden glow. The vast panorama of the northern foothills was illuminated, revealing the intricate patterns of snowdrifts and the deep, hushed valleys that had sheltered the bear throughout its nocturnal wanderings. The shadows, which had been long and formidable under the moon and stars, now began to shorten and soften, retreating into the recesses of the slopes. The bear, moving with a predictable and peaceful rhythm, continued its unhurried pace, its massive form a reassuring presence against the grandeur of the awakening wilderness. Every flake of snow caught the light, transforming the endless fields into a sparkling tapestry, each tiny crystal a point of gentle brilliance. The stillness was profound, broken only by the quiet whisper of a far-off breeze, a sound that seemed to enhance the pervasive calm rather than disrupt it. The world around the bear felt renewed, yet it retained the profound, crisp coldness characteristic of a winter morning in the high north. There was an invigorating purity to the air, a deep freshness that filled the vast spaces between the mountains. The bear, with its ancient instincts guiding its every motion, paused now in an open clearing, a space where the pines thinned to allow an unobstructed view of the distant sun-drenched peaks. Its head lifted slowly, its quiet ears twitching almost imperceptibly, taking in the serene spectacle of the watching mountain horizons. There was no urgency in its gaze, only a deep, abiding connection to the colossal landscape that was its home. The thick fur rustling with its calm breathing, the bear embodied the very essence of deep relaxation, a creature perfectly at one with its environment. This moment of profound observation, a natural ritual, brought with it a feeling of immense comfort and safety, a deep sense of belonging within the peaceful wilderness. The light continued its steady advance, melting away the last remnants of night from every corner of the vast plain. The subtle hues of dawn deepened into clearer, brighter tones of a winter morning. The air, though still chilly, held a crispness that spoke of purity and vast open spaces. The bear remained in its momentary rest, a statue of brown fur against the snow, gazing across valleys that now stretched towards the new day, their contours softened by the gentle light. The sounds of the wilderness, muted throughout the deepest hours, now began their subtle reawakening. The distant sigh of wind, the soft shift of snow, the faint creak of ice far away. These were not jarring sounds, but rather quiet affirmations of the life that persisted, enduring through the cold and dark, now greeting the new light. The bear's presence in this expansive landscape felt utterly timeless, a symbol of continuity and profound stillness. This gentle journey through the long, quiet night, a continuous flow of cautious steps and watchful pauses, was drawing to its graceful close. The profound stillness that now embraced the landscape was a testament to the bear's enduring resilience and its deep, unhurried connection to the rhythms of nature. The night had fully transitioned into a peaceful winter morning, a complete cycle brought to its serene completion. The soft golden light continued to deepen, painting the snowfields with a warm, comforting glow that spread across the entire northern frontier. The bear, finally lowering its head, began to move again, but with an even more relaxed pace, as if settling into the profound quiet of the day. Its wandering forest clearings, now bathed in the clear, steady light, seemed to welcome its measured progress. The consistent rhythm of the bear's existence, its predictable wanderings through the vast expanse, and its innate capacity for deep relaxation within the silent nature, culminated in this singular, serene image. The long trek had found its peaceful resolution, not in a grand event, but in the simple, profound beauty of a new day dawning over the world. The cold ground beneath its stretching, sturdy paws held the quiet promise of the seasons to come, a future that would unfold with the same slow, gentle inevitability. A lasting sense of comfort settled over the scene, an enduring feeling of safety and peaceful mind that mirrored the vast, tranquil landscape. As the bear continued its slowly fading path across the brightening snow, its soft breath rising in the crisp air,
The finality of this journey offered a deep, enveloping stillness, an invitation to rest and truly embrace deep sleep.